It's exciting to see. I'm really excited. I'm going to kind of contain my enthusiasm. I'm excited to see a comprehensive framework that can be used to help guide our economic policies going forward. Defining these policies, I believe, is one of the most important goals that we can accomplish as a council. So working with you guys and partnering with not just the city, of course, but all our partners is exciting to me. And I think that it really sets up our city for success if done well. I'm passionate about improving our business corridors. The historic Old Highway 90 corridor is what you said, Brenda. It's Main Street America. Old Highway 90 has many small family-owned businesses that are vibrant, and in some cases right now they're barely hanging on. So even community centers and educational centers are off Old Historic Highway 90. So investing in these corridors is a good way to ensure that all of the sort of underserved areas are growing. When focusing on our corridors, how do you plan on protecting the area's culture? I noticed in one of your, I think it was a graphic where you had all the departments and you included arts and culture, and I think that's really important. And arts and culture knows the area really well. I'm using Old Highway 90 as an example, but of course there's dozens in the city.
Yeah, so one of the reasons we were interested in partnering with Main Street America and what was formerly called their Urban Main Street program is it really is about that community engagement, right? And I know some of our partners like planning department and so forth are really great at engaging the community when you're going through that kind of process, that revitalization, and really making sure you understand the importance, that fabric of the community, what it is that has been important and is important moving forward. And so as part of the framework, as we roll this out, we'll really be focused on that community engagement, that collaboration, and really working specifically with the neighborhood.
And I'm sure working with the council members too, we all know our neighborhoods really well. So we want to make sure and identify those corridors, help you to identify those corridors. And I mentioned you're planning on collaborating with multiple departments on this program. I saw, really excited to see arts, aviation, transportation, innovation. I didn't see Metro Health. Is that an oversight, or I feel like they could be useful in this conversation as well?
Yes, so Metro Health, they weren't necessarily involved in the roundtables, but
Okay.
We are certainly working with them. For example, we're picking their brains on a number of different aspects right now. So.
Okay, great. Okay, so you're working with them. Can you expand a little more on partnering more closely with Greater SATX? I think they're an incredible resource, the organization, and of course Jenna. I think that I'd like to see us working more in lockstep with them. I know that we do in some ways, but just want to make sure that we're, in lockstep.
Yeah. Absolutely. So as you know, Greater SATX has been going through a shift as they've been implementing their new-ish strategic plan, and so they hired their chief economic development officer earlier this year, Sarah Carabias-Rush, who actually is here today. We are, in fact, I don't think a day goes by that we're not connecting in some way, shape, or form, and so they've been incredibly engaged in this process. Their plan was reviewed and was definitely taken into consideration as we didn't want to recreate the wheel. And so we are looking at how do we better collaborate. So when we talk about the business retention and expansion program, for example, that will definitely be a conversation in partnership with them. And as will a number of the other things. Great. The incentives they're heavily involved in as well.
Just, constant communication, I think, with them and other partners. But I've had meetings with them as well where I learn all kinds of new stuff. Just spending an hour with that team is incredible. So I think we just want to make sure we're using that resource to its fullest. You mentioned it was a disparity study. Can you elaborate a little more on the disparity study?
Sure. Through our Small Business Economic Development Advocacy Program, we, again, that's based on legally defined, legally defensible disparities. And so we do update the disparity study, which is currently underway. The final report is expected in early 2023. And then that, depending upon the findings in that study, that is what the Sabeda ordinance is built around.
Okay. So. Thank you. And the mayor mentioned this, but I think it bears repeating that measuring success is vital. It's just as important as any other component to this. So I'm sure we'll get kind of updates and reports and all kinds of meetings and briefings, and I look forward to them because I really do think that I'm not sure yet how the measurement is going to happen, but that's for down the way a little bit, right? Just want to make sure we're continuing to keep track of that. And you also mentioned something that really kind of, I think part of what got me kind of excited is mentioning that we need to get better at telling our San Antonio story. We have, I agree, and I wonder kind of what is the moonshot? What's the ultimate goal? I know that there are a lot of facets to this, growing and keeping San Antonio talent, developing small business, solidifying key partnerships. Our ultimate goal is to me, is to be the city that all other cities model themselves after. We will no longer look to other cities in other states to say, this is what we need to be. I want everybody looking at us. I know we can do this. Everybody in this room knows we can do it. But my goal, my kind of moonshot for this is that we are in a complete league of our own. And it's, I think that this framework will get us there. So, Mayor, I think you're going to be Tom Hanks. I'll be Madonna. But I think really this is where I can't say it enough how excited I am about this, because I think this is truly, it could be truly transformational to our entire city, from the the neighborhoods by Old Highway 90 to downtown to the east side, north side, south side. I think this could be really, really a game changer for us. So I thank you for all the work that you've done and all the work you're about to do. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.